5 things you need to know about this upcoming moon. And don't forget to stay tuned to the end for a pick a card oracle reading. Okay, so we do have a full moon coming up on March 18th. It will be in the sign of Virgo, and it will be at 2:17 a.m. Central Standard Time. So there are 5 major themes going on and 5 things that you need to be aware of for this full moon. So let's jump right in and talk about them. So the first thing that you need to know about is that things are moving forward fast, very fast. So you may have been feeling that you have been stuck and not been able to progress forward. There may have been a block that feels like it's been put on you energetically. And there might actually have been, things might have been blocked for some time going forward. And now it feels like that block is being removed. So as it is being removed, you will get unstuck and unblocked, and things will move forward rather fast. Things will start to fall into alignment. You may be seeing more signs and synchronicities. Things may be falling into your lap, but whatever you've been waiting on that you haven't been able to progress forward with, now is a time that we will be moving forward, and it will happen rather fast. Okay, so when things pick up, be ready because it's going to go. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about today is why this moon is very special. Well, it is right before the spring equinox. So why is this important? Well, the spring equinox actually starts a brand new cycle. It's a yearly cycle. The seasonal year starts the spring equinox. If you guys want to know more about that, stay tuned on the spring equinox. I will have a video coming out about that. But we're about to start this huge cycle. So the fact that the moon is on the 18th and then the 20th is the spring equinox, these two energies are so close to each other, they could almost touch, that you're going to be able to tap into both of them. So when you work on your full moon manifestations, also tap into that spring equinox, because you'll still feel the energy within a couple days before and after it, right? It's still very active. It's right there. And when you work with the spring equinox, tap into that full moon energy. Manifest multiple manifestations. Tap into both the energies, doubling up and speeding up and tapping into exhilaration, right? Bring them both together so you can multiply your manifestations to even speed things up even faster, okay? I also do want to say that this moon is also called the worm moon, right? And it's actually called that because what happens in spring, right? We plant the seeds that things come forward in, the worms are out, the worms are getting ready to plant the seeds. So as we want to plant the seeds to move forward, the worm moon is there to work with us with the spring equinox. So tap into both the energies because this will multiply your manifestations, okay? The third thing I want to talk about today is you might be noticing some heart chakra activations. So your heart chakra, you might be feeling some fluttering around this time, or maybe early in the mornings, you might be feeling some unknown anxiety and you don't know why. Most likely, this is just some heart chakra activations, or we've been in a time of healing with the heart chakra, and that healing is getting ready to close, and so now we're releasing. So if you feel any fluttering or a little bit maybe racy heart or anxiety, most likely, unless you have an anxiety disorder, I'm not a doctor, but most likely you might be feeling this just around the moon, just within the week before and the week after, because whatever the healing we've been going at now needs to be released, right? Everything has to come to the surface to be released. So it's really going to be sensitive, your heart chakra, around this full moon energy. And so what you can do to help support the heart chakra is you could work with any green crystals. Now I actually have some zoisite on me today, which is great for the heart chakra, and it's got ruby in it as well. So all that also works with the heart chakra. But green aventurine, any green crystals will really work. If you work with crystals, you could do that. Green candles, green incense will also be good. You can also eat foods that are green, some leafy greens, maybe some spinach, maybe some kale, maybe some green grapes or a green apple, right? Anything that, maybe some broccoli, anything that's green, the food will help nourish your heart chakra. And then, ironically, I promise this wasn't planned, but eating green clothing, so wearing a green shirt can definitely help support the heart chakra. So anything you can do, especially over the next week and a few days after the full moon, to work with the color green, because the color green does resonate with the heart chakra, will help support it and heal it, because we're coming out of a big healing cycle with the heart chakra, like I said, as we will be going with the activations that will stick with us. You'll probably feel it for the next 2 weeks, but this is like exploring into new energies. So the heart chakra is opening like never before. So make sure to stay in that gratitude and grace around this time. The fourth thing I want to talk about during this full moon cycle is about dreams coming into reality. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to dream big. And I want you to dream big, bigger than ever before. Okay, so this is a time where if you think something would take you 3 years, we can actually have it be a year. If you think something's going to take a year, maybe it takes 6 months, right? Something that would normally take a long time to plan, to come into the physical, right? Whatever we're trying to manifest, because we work with the spring equinox energy, because times are speeding up and things are going to be moving rather fast. I want you to dream bigger than before. Oh, I can't do that. I'm not good enough. Somebody else is better. I don't have the experience. I'm not worthy. Get rid of all that, because now we're going to dream like never before. And we're going to, because we work with these energies, we can actually allow things to come to us a lot sooner, right? So we have all the acceleration, fast energies, the spring equinox. So because of that, I want you to dream bigger. Dream bigger than ever before. What you think you can't do, you can. Start planning for that. Something that would take 10 years, make it a 5-year plan. Like cut the plan. Let's work with the energies and have them bring into our manifestations here in the physical a lot sooner. So dream big and dream big like never before. Now the fifth thing I want to talk about, this is the last theme that came up, was a theme of rest. And here's what I want to say, because you could be on either side of this, just depending on how your body reacts with the vibrations. So we've been getting a lot of solar flares come in, and so with this, that actually activates new spirituality, spiritual awakening. You go deeper into your spiritual process, right? Or maybe you're just start going through your awakening process. Wherever you're at, you could start tapping into the spirituality, spiritual world, spiritual awakening, or you might be going deeper into your awakening journey. So wherever you're at with that, how the vibrations of the solar flares coming in may affect you differently. One, you may be noticing you are super energized. You feel like you're up all night, or you're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning, your creative juices are flowing, and you're just writing out all these plans and dreams and getting creative, or whatever that is, right? You might be on the opposite end of, oh, I have to go to bed an hour earlier, and I need to wake up an hour, or I sleep an hour later. You might be feeling you need some rest. If you're on the side of the rest and you need to sleep a little bit more, allow that to happen. Don't judge yourself for having to go to bed an hour sooner, or you need to sleep in a little bit longer. If you need to take breaks during the day, take some breaks during the day. It feels like, because here's the thing, when those solar flares come in and they activate new vibrations within us, right? If you're vibrating here and the solar flares bring your vibration up here, well, your body has to adjust. So as you climb up, your body may take a minute. So rest if you need the rest, okay? So that's one way your body might react to these new vibrational upgrades that are happening with the solar flares. The other energy is not so much racy in a bad way, but racy, excited, energized, full of creative energy, right? So if you're on the other side where you feel like you don't need as much sleep, you're waking up with inspired ideas and actions at 3 in the morning, work with those energies. Don't get mad that you're waking up at 3 a.m. Your body can handle this. So if your vibration, remember, you're here, the solar flares come in, it comes up here, your body is like, let's go, I want to work with it. You'll be okay getting the only 4 or 6 hours or whatever it is of sleep. This may only last about a few days or a week. So just tap into that energy. Don't be sitting in bed, I can't sleep, oh, trying to go to bed. If your creative juices are flowing, tap into that, get up, go journal, write with it, whatever it is, work with those energies, and because your body is telling you, I don't need that sleep right now, right? Again, I'm not saying this if you have some kind of mental disorder where maybe you have mania or something. I'm saying this taps into the full moon. This is not your normal. I'm saying out of nowhere, like I sleep 8 hours every night, right? I do. And all of a sudden I know my body around full moons, I can't sleep. I know that's how my body reacts to the moon. Okay. So if this is out of the ordinary and you're waking up at 3 in the morning, work with those energies. Okay. Because you'll be getting a lot of downloads. And if you're in your bed just trying to fight it and go to sleep, you might miss that brilliant idea, that $1 million idea, that next step, right? You might miss something. So if it's out of the ordinary for you to wake up at 3 in the morning, if you feel energized, get up, get a pen and paper, journal out some stuff, see what comes up. You'll probably crash a couple hours later. If not, if you're up the rest of the day, your body will be okay because you are on the other side. It will polarize in at one end or the other. And like I said, how we all act differently to the vibrations. So you might be needing rest, or you're like, I'm going to go, I'm creative, I'm going to work with these energies. Wherever you're at, there's no right or wrong. It's just how your body responds. So rest came up as a major theme. Don't fight it. If you don't feel you need the 8 hours and you're good to go off 6, you're fine, or whatever that means. If you need the 9 to 10, 11, whatever it is, just go with it. This will probably only last a few days around the full moon and the spring equinox. It will probably start to die off around the 22nd. Energies will probably start to level out by the I was going to say the 21st, definitely by the 22nd, the energies will start to level out. So this will only be a few days. We always want to work with those energies and not against them, right? If we know we need to sleep and we keep fighting it and fighting and fighting and don't sleep, we're working with the energies when our body's saying to rest, and vice versa. If we're waking up at 3 in the morning, your angels and guides are probably saying, hey, wake up, I'm trying to give you some downloads, write this down, right? So work with those energies. They'll probably only stay with you a few days. You'll go back to your normal sleeping patterns, but just pay attention to them right now, okay? All right, so those are the 5 things that we need to know about this full moon we're having. And now we're going to do our pick a card reading. So I'm just going to pick 3 cards. And so I want you guys to decide on a number, which one you feel most drawn to. Is it the number 1, 2, or 3? And so once you decide on your number, we'll jump. I'll have in the description of the video, you can jump ahead to the timestamp. So let's get card number 1's oracle message for this full moon. And what you need to know. Nope. All right. Your commitment is being tested. Very interesting. Okay, so here's what I want to say with this. This might already be happening. This might have been happening over the last at least 2 weeks. This feels like it's ending. It might not end till the end of the month, but probably because you're going to close out a big cycle. So if you feel things aren't working, I want you to keep going forward. I want you to keep with the progression. I want you to keep with the consistency, because you probably will have a little bit of a bigger payoff. But because you just took a little bit longer and you had to do a little bit more of some inner work or some real work or whatever it is, there's almost like a bigger payoff for card 1, what it feels like. So you might have to just keep at it for a couple weeks, but definitely by the 27th to 28th, things will get lighter and you will start to really see what's going on. So don't give up before the miracle happens, card 1, because yours will probably happen closer to the 27th. Okay. Which the full moon does last that energy about 2 weeks until we go into the next moon cycle, right? So let's get card 2. You chose card 2. And this is your message during this full moon cycle. All right. Listen, take time to breathe out. Guys, I literally just talked about the theme of 5 meaning rest. Okay, so if you were drawn to card 2, this is really your theme of, oh my God, I need to sleep a little bit more. I did say, like, don't be judgmental with yourself. They all said, oh my God, why am I sleeping 12 hours a day? Right? If that's not your normal, it most likely will be lifted in a couple days. Take time to breathe. Also with work, don't overdo it, right? Maybe you don't have that flexibility to say, I'm going to work an hour here, take an hour off, because maybe you don't own your own company and you're not your own boss. But here's the thing, take a break, take a 5-minute break, right? Just go outside, get some fresh air. Take the breaks. Do not work yourself to death. If you are pulled to card 2, you really need to make sure you're taking breaks, you're resting and sleeping a lot. Don't push it too much, and don't judge yourself for sleeping too much. Okay? All right, so let's do card 3. Your message during this full moon. All right. It's time to release negativity. Is this entangled with someone? I feel an energy, right? And so if it's not a person, it could be a place or a thing, but there is another energy prevalent with this. And there might actually be a conversation with this. I kind of feel like things are going to come to a head one way or another. It does feel it'll be better if you kind of take the lead with this, whether that's a conversation, but to close this out, because the universe is wrapping up a huge cycle, and the universe wants you to close out the cycle with this person, place, or thing that's causing any negativity. So it's time to say goodbye to that. So if you're not willing to let go and say goodbye, the universe is kind of come in to kind of close this door. It's still peeked open a little bit, because you kind of have to go through to close out that chapter. It might be a conversation. It does feel it's better for you to initiate it and start it to close that chapter, and for it to happen on your terms. Maybe it needs to happen on a place that feels comfortable to you, right? On your stomping grounds or something where you know you're not going to feel ambushed or attacked, or you might feel a little bit vulnerable having this conversation or whatever it is. But there is another energy prevalent for card 3, and it does feel it's time to address that negativity whatever that means to you, whatever negative people, places, or thing that are around your energy, it's time to address it so you can release it and let it go to move forward. Okay? All right. So that wraps up today's reading about the full moon coming up. And so we will wrap up the video right here. And if you got anything out of this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. This way I know you got something that resonated. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And there's a bell too. I want you to hit the bell and turn on all notifications because I do daily videos. I don't want you guys to miss out on any upcoming messages. The next message just might be the message that you need to hear today. Hi to my loves. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time. Be blessed.